Born during the apocalypse, AJ has never known a world without walkers. He's been surrounded by danger his entire life. His mother Rebecca died giving birth to him, and it wasn't long before Man, I'm not gonna lie, Clementine just been going through her whole life too. It wasn't long before he was left in the hands of Clementine, one of the best survivalists in the fucking series. Talk about having a rough start, right? Clem did what she could to shield him, but AJ's life just wasn't easy at all. It was anything but easy. He learned the harsh realities of survival from the very beginning, and that's what shaped him into the tough little nigga. Oh, that nigga badass little boy. But what made this man such a badass is his moral code, or rather his lack of one. When you grow up in a world outrun by zombies and untrustworthy people, things like empathy and forgiveness kind of just push aside, to be honest. For AJ, it's all about survival. That little boy, that man seen Clem and others make tough calls, and he learned that if someone threatens you or your people, you handle it. And that's what that man be doing, but he low-key be overdoing it sometimes, like that one scene with Marlon when he shot Marlon in his head. That jump, like AJ, like you ain't had no business shoot that man in his head like that. Like damn, bro. Remember that moment when AJ shot Lily without hesitation, depending on your choice? He knew she was a threat, and in his mind, it was justified. That's a level of cold, calculated survival instinct that most adults in this universe struggle with. AJ's willingness to act when others hesitate makes him unpredictable and dangerous. To be honest, my first playthrough, I'm not gonna lie, I chose to give Lily mercy, which led to I forgot buddy name, but turns out he was gay. That man literally got a gun for AJ and Lily stopped that bro. I'm not gonna lie, got mad as hell. But I can't do nothing but blame myself for not letting AJ pull the fucking trigger. But I made sure my second playthrough I knew not to make that mistake again.
Parent association, I'ma deal with Papa Smurf. I'ma deal with that little dirty nigga. I heard you, albino. I'ma handle your ass tonight, pussy. You ain't getting away with that shit. You
do it, AJ!
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
But AJ's badassery doesn't just come from violence. A big part of his character is the bond he shares with Clementine. She's more than just a protector for him. She's family, his teacher, and in many ways, his moral guide. What's really badass about AJ is how he balances being a tough survivor while also maintaining his loyalty and love for Clem. Throughout season 4, AJ is willing to lay everything on the line for her. In a world where trust is scarce, his dedication to Clem shows that even in the darkest of times, he got a heart. And yet, the same loyalty makes him more dangerous to their enemies. If you mess with Clem, you mess with AJ. And he doesn't forgive very easily. What's impressive about AJ is how fast he learns. He picks up on everything from combat techniques to reading people's intentions. This is a little kid who by the age of 6 is already skilled with a gun. That man can make tactical decisions under pressure and can even outwit adults in certain situations. That right there is little. What is an anime character I could compare to him? Nigga, that's Itachi. That's little Itachi right there. That's Itachi with a fro. AJ's ability to assess situations quickly and make tough calls proves that he's far more than just a kid tagging along for survival. He's someone you want in your corner when things get rough. Finally, let's talk about this man's fearlessness. Whether it's facing down a walker or human enemies, AJ doesn't flinch. He's a grown up in constant danger. So fear is something he doesn't even really have time for. This kid will change head first. Well, not change, but charge head first into battle if it means protecting the people he care about. The level of fearlessness is something we rarely see in young characters. Most kids are portrayed as needing protection, similar to Sarah from season 2. But AJ, he's a protector. And when he decides to take action, that man does not hold back. This kid is willing to go to the extremes, similar to Jeff freaking Hardy, and that's what makes him such a badass. He learned from the best, lived through the goddamn worst, and came out tougher than most. So yeah, whether it's his harsh upbringing, his daily survival skills, or his unbreakable bond with Clementine, AJ is hands down one of the most best and badass little kids in the world of Telltale to Walking Dead. And let's be honest, if we are stuck in the apocalypse, we want AJ on our side. Marlon is the leader of a group of kids at Harrison Boarding School for Troubled Youth. In a world overrun by walkers, the children had created their own little community to survive. Marlon stepped up as a leader not because he wants power, but because someone had to take charge. When a whole lot of adults literally lift y'all ass to die basically, what else you gonna do? Someone had to step up. But yeah, he was someone who took charge. He's practical, courageous, and most importantly, determined to protect those he cares about at the time. But leadership in a world like this isn't easy. The stress of protecting the others while dealing with scarce resources and constant danger takes a toll on him. Marlon's desperation eventually led him to his darkest decision, which was sacrificing Sophie and Minerva to raiders in exchange for safety of the group. When Clementine arrives, she begins to unravel the carefully constructed lie that Marlon has built around himself. The truth is that Marlon wasn't a monster. He was a scared kid who made a terrible choice. He sacrificed Sophie and Minerva not out of malice or fucking all out savagery, but out of fear. He believed that if he didn't act, the raiders would take more lives. This decision haunted him, causing him to live in constant guilt and paranoia. His actions weren't justified, but they were understandable. The burden of leadership can push even the strongest people to make tragic mistakes, especially in a world like this one. Despite his grave mistakes, there are signs that Marlon could have been redeemed. Before everything came crashing down, he showed moments of genuine care for his friends. Marlon had the potential to actually confront his past, make amends, and become a better leader. If Marlon had survived his confrontation with Clementine and AJ, he would have had a chance to face the consequences and repercussions of his choices head on. It's possible that, with time, he could have become a character with one of the most compelling redemption arcs in the series. But unfortunately, that boy AJ had other plans.
You win. I can't.
That boy AJ shot him, ending his life before he could even begin to atone for what he done. Some argue that AJ's actions was justified. After all, Marlon had pointed a gun at Clementine for the longest, but it's hard not to feel like something important was lost with Marlon's death though. Marlon's sudden death left the group in disarray. Without him, the kids had to figure out how to survive on their own, and AJ's actions set a new precedent for how conflicts were dealt with. Violence instead of reconciliation. Let's imagine for a moment how Marlon's redemption arc could have played out. The first step would be taking responsibility. Marlon would need to openly admit to his mistakes, not just out of guilt, but to make things right. He could have worked his way to earn back the trust of the other kids and fought for the group's safety, this time without sacrificing anyone. He could have met Minerva how they did in real life. Well, not in real life, but in the game, basically. And then Minerva gonna be talking her shit to Marlon, and then Marlon gonna be like, man, okay, man, I'm sorry for what I did. And then he's gonna find out about Sophie's death when Minerva killed her. And then, basically, he's gonna help everybody, get out of the boat, basically, fight off the Delta. That basically gonna earn his trust back. That's how I would've done it. And I ain't gonna lie, this beat is getting on my nerves because it's a little too loud for it to only be at 20 volume. But hey, man, bear with me. It's about to be over in a minute. A redemption arc doesn't mean erasing his past sins, but rather showing growth and willingness to change. Marlon could have been a symbol of how even a world as bleak as it is, there's room for second chances and the possibility of becoming a better person. And I know what y'all thinking, what about 10? Man, nah, fuck 10. That nigga was responsible for many lives. Marlon, what Marlon did, what 10 did made Marlon look like a saint. Come on, man, let's be honest. That man 10 was a cause of many deaths. Marlon just did nothing but suck 2 people away. You acting like he killed him. Nah, forget all that. Marlon's story in Telltale's Walking Dead is a tragic one. He was a young leader who made terrible choices, but he was also just a kid who deserved a chance to learn and grow from his mistakes. In a world that constantly strips away people's humanity, Marlon could have been an example of how redemption is still possible, even in the darkest of times. But instead, his story serves as a reminder of how quickly hope can be extinguished and how not every character can get a chance at a redemption arc. And Telltale's Walking Dead, sometimes there's just no time for second chances. Lily's character arc spans across multiple seasons of Telltale's The Walking Dead, and she has been often portrayed as this evil, hurtful villain. But to me, I believe that she is a character who deserves a closer look and a deeper understanding. Like, we can't just go judging a book by its cover. Like, we can't do that now. Like, to me, I feel like she's more misunderstood, and I'm going to explain it on this video. From the very beginning, we already see and knew that Lily, she comes from a military family, basically from a military background. She has also been like a lieutenant in her father's group, I think, and her experience shaped her to be the strong and authoritative figure. But her actions were driven by a sense of duty and responsibility towards her group's survival. Like, I can understand what she's trying to do. You know, she's trying to keep them engaged. She's trying to keep her disciplined. You know, keep them, you know, with their aim when he shoot the guns and stuff like that. But she too strict with it, and I think her attitude is the reason why people hate her so goddamn much. Like, throughout the game, Lily is forced to make tough decisions to protect the damn group. Like, while some of the decisions she made may seem harsh and questionable, but like, come on, lie. It's essential to remember the dire circumstances they were all facing in the zombie apocalypse. Like, sometimes sacrifices have to be made to ensure survival of the group. Like, if like someone is gonna miss a meal and people is all up in her head about it, and when they gave me the choice to say that Kitty is right or Lily's right, I literally said Lily was right. Because if we just gonna keep on fussing Kenny, if we gonna keep on arguing Kenny, if we gonna keep on arguing over the fact of who should control the group and who should not control the group, Kenny, then the group is gonna fall apart. And I agree with her on that. Like, we can't just sit here arguing. Like, sure, there gonna be some people who not gonna sit right with her decisions, but sacrifices have to be made. Another aspect to consider is the influence of her father. Like, Lily had a complex relationship with her father, who was the leader of the group before Legion came around at the drugstore. Like, her upbringing under his strict rules shaped her worldview. Like, while it doesn't justify all her actions, it helps her understand her motivation for maintaining a strong and disciplined group. Like, her father was strict as fuck. We also need to acknowledge the trauma she experienced throughout the series. The loss of her loved ones, the loss of her father, and the constant threat of death could take a toll on someone's mental and emotional well-being. Like, why you think Ben was the way he was? Like, the nigga was scared to die, and I wasn't gonna, sure, I wouldn't blame him for being scared to die, because I don't want to die either. But guess what? It's gonna happen either way. But what I mean by that is that he is afraid to get eaten up by them walkers and die a gruesome death. Like, that's all I meant. Like, these factors can lead to someone make decisions that might not align with others with their true nature. Like, her character development is not stagnant. In the final season, we see her return as a more complex and nuanced character. She reveals more remorse for her past actions and demonstrates a genuine desire to make amends. This growth also shows that she is capable and change of redemption. Like, she can redeem herself, but that's not what happened. Cause see, she out here kidnapping little kids and turn them to little bitty army soldiers. Like, she's a character who, in my opinion, has been misunderstood. Her military background, sense of duty, and traumatic experiences have shaped her into a strong, authoritative figure. While some of her actions may seem harsh, they were also driven by a desire to protect her group. Like, her character arc is also a demonstration of growth and capacity for redemption. So before we actually judge her too harshly, let's consider the complexities of her character and the challenging circumstances she faced. Like, to me, I think she's misunderstood, you know? Not many people might agree with me, but, you know, I have my opinion and y'all have y'all's. So Lily is misunderstood to me, and hell, that's it.